Last time on Gleeboot, we finished the series of Glee, talking about the finale episodes, 2009 and Dreams Come True. And the ending was, in a way, both satisfying and unsatisfying, and represented the two different Glee narratives that were often at odds with each other. And that's what you missed on Gleeboot.
Gleeboot. Yeah.
It's coming to a close.
It's, award season right around the corner. So excited for the Gleekies. You know what? I was thinking about the finale episodes, even though we recorded one episode. I felt less satisfied the more I thought about it. And it made me be like, you know what? There is definitely something to this show. They could have made a better ending, but time and resources
and
I was still disappointed.
Stuff.
I was mostly just disappointed as it's like all these factors and they could not. I just realized my mic isn't even plugged in. Guys,
you sound fine.
You sound fine.
You actually sound fine.
My mic actually might be plugged in.
Well, I
anyway,
think it's because the season 3 honestly ended in a pretty satisfying way. And
absolutely.
I think it's all just like a really weird epilogue. Season 4, 5, and 6 are the Star Wars sequels, whatever we're calling the Rey, Finn, Poe, Rose.
Oh, interesting.
I like those.
I figured it would be the ones that have Hayden Christensen in them and stuff.
But see, those are prequels. So that's
prequels.
The thing.
I get it. I thought you meant in terms of quality.
No, I mean, it's like when you reach a satisfying conclusion and then you keep going, it's hard. But people do it. They're making a sequel to Passion of the Christ. So
what?
It's what everyone was asking for. We want to see him die again.
What are they?
Well,
I mean,
you know how
are they doing
goes,
the risen part or?
Yeah, they're doing the risen part. But
okay.
I'm like, you
the Crucifixion 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You literally took a story that has you're just making a movie of the falling action of the denouement. I'm like, it's like if you did Snow White, ended with her dying, and then 10 years later did the 3 minutes of when she wakes up. I'm like, you don't need. I'm like, you already gave me religious trauma, Mel Gibson. You don't need to do it again.
I mean, to be fair, it would be kind of interesting seeing Jesus just popping in on people and traumatizing them.
Yeah.
So is this just
that would be interesting
of Christianity, as
I guess
we now know it because of
but I mean, Christianity as we now know it was formed over 300, 400 years.
So it's it's going to be really, really shortened.
Yeah, they're going to do the Rings of Power and compress the timeline, except instead of being a magical story of elves and orcs, it is real world history.
Oh boy.
All right, well, welcome back to Gleeboot, the show where we can't stay on topic as we talk about rebooting Glee. I'm Cullen.
Alyssa.
And I'm Hannah. And I don't have a drink either. My mic wasn't plugged in. I am a mess, but I am on stage. But you can't see me.
Yeah, her Zoom background, she's on stage. I'm in the choir room. And an episode, I believe this was Comeback, the one where when Rachel's style catches on. I'm in the choir room with Artie, Finn, Mercedes, Tina, Brittany Quinn, Rachel, Mike, Puck, Lauren, Sam, and Santana.
The best part about this, though,
is that there's no Kurt. No, where's Kurt? I thought I picked one with everyone.
But that it's literally all of these characters looking so they hate being there. And Rachel's standing up talking. So it's a great photo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the immersive Glee experience that we pitched. Part of it is sitting in the choir room while the Rachel character talks.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is.
My drink it was already half drunk, the wine bottle, but it is a Road Cellars California Chardonnay 2020, wine of the apocalypse.
Oh.
And I'm drinking it in a time to wind down glass, channeling my lush soccer mom that is inside.
I am drinking a hot toddy. kind of like it's not a straight pure hot toddy, which you need bourbon for. I'm drinking just like whiskey that's not bourbon.
Right.
And I went out and picked some lemons for it. And this is interesting. I cut the lemons. They smell like lemon, but they're a little bit too round to be lemons. And I juiced it, and then I taste the juice, and it's sweeter than oranges. So it does this drink does not taste the way that it's supposed to. It tastes good, but I got some weird hybrid lemons that I just picked from a tree like across the park. So
interesting. I've just been delivered a bottle of wine. I think I actually don't remember when I opened this, but it is Espuela del Gaucho, fine wine of the Andes. It's a Malbec, also of the Apocalypse 2020, and it's been just as Alyssa has told me not to do. It has sat on my counter with the cork in it, and I'm about to drink it. It's been a couple weeks. God, I still remember
a couple weeks.
And you were so angry, and you continue to be so angry. And I'm having it out of a mule glass. So, cheers. I think that just sums up this episode and the preparation of it for me.
You know, this is the moment our listeners have truly been waiting for. We always talk about how these are ideas for rebooting Glee. And that it has always been a portion of the podcast, but so much of it has just been devoted to unpacking each individual episode. Yeah.
Crying,
so now we are, instead of being the critic, instead of taking a piece of media and being this, what's wrong with it, we are putting ourselves in the artist's shoes. We are writers. We are putting forth our ideas.
Yeah.
Alyssa is here. The critic is always needed.
Yep. I'm the judge.
Producer that we're pitching to. Wow. Yeah, I've glanced through Cullen's a little bit. I wanted to be surprised, but super professional. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less.
I love
so many
pitch
slides.
Deck. Yeah.
This is quite literally a pitch deck. Mine is it looks like a 10th grader made it.
I will instruct at one point in the presentation, you can click on the link to the Spotify playlist.
Whoa! I don't Spotify, so I can't make playlists.
I have an 89 song playlist.
Oof.
That's nothing. I have a 60-hour playlist.
No. Dedicated to Glee.
Okay, but
it is a Gleeboot. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying for the pitch, it's a lot. But
yeah.
Dedicated.
Yes.
I would like to.
Although I feel like, Cullen, you probably had this started and going way before this podcast.
No, I did start
not before
this.
The podcast. But.
This was made mainly in February, I would say. President's Day was real slow, so
that's some time to kill.
Yeah, so I have been putting it together and occasionally tweaking. I went back, tweaked it a bit in December, and here we are. Yeah, I even tweaked it today. I realized there's no music by the iconic Ashley Tisdale, and I needed to fix that.
That's the thing is so mine is very music focused. I hear the song, I'm like, this is what I see happening. And I had so many other ideas, but it was sort of I could see it happening, but I didn't really know what the context was. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not going to add those.
I mean, Glee's never been a stickler for context.
Oh, I know. Trust me. And I mentioned in mine that I worked backwards a few times from lyrics.
I did it too.
In Glee
as much
tradition.
As we roasted Glee for it, I'm like, it makes sense.
It does. It's a jukebox musical show. It makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you want to present first?
Yeah, mine's shorter. I can get it done and over with. Okay. Share screen. Listeners, I don't know. Will we share our PowerPoints?
I've thought about, I think what we'll say is if you want access to the PowerPoint, DM us, message us, shout us out, and I can send you a little linky link.
We should share the Spotify playlist.
We definitely should. Yeah. I've been waiting. I was gonna do it earlier when I first made it, but I was like, I need to wait for the release.
Okay, well, I certainly hope that this doesn't start changing on its own. Okay. Hold on.
Do some wine pouring ASMR.
Flirp, 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 flirp. Can you see my screen? Can you see that?
I can see it.
Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this. Will not go away. Oh my God, Zoom. Okay, you can see the presentation.
Yep.
This is going to be as much of a surprise as it is for me as it is for you. As it is for me. I don't remember what I'm saying. The Gleeboot, Hannah's version. So I started with Klain, right? I think they obviously can work. I think they can be endgame. But I was really sort of drawn to the whole cheating thing. So Blaine does cheat on Kurt with a guy whose Twitter profile is an egg. This still takes place in 2013. Blaine sings Careless Whisper as he's doing the cheating, but the scene is sort of like a cut back and forth between the romantic dancing with he and Kurt and then he and this other person. So I thought that would be kind of a cool number. Guilty Feet have no rhythm. It's I'm never gonna dance again the way I danced with you. He's also singing that to Kurt and this other person. It's beautiful. Kurt sings Too Good at Goodbyes by Sam Smith. I heard this and I just saw Kurt singing this, crying in the choir room and in the theater on the stage. It's gonna be so good. He finds out and he's heartbroken and he's like, you know what though? I'm too good at this. I've been through this. It's just, this is life. And it's going to be good. But then I kind of dove into a little bit more of their relationship. They don't do this back and forth, back together, not together. They date other people. They grow as human beings. And maybe they come back in the final season, which I think they should. And Blaine is actually bisexual. We definitely explore this in my version. He dates Tina after Kurt leaves for Niata. And it is consensual and there are no puppets involved.
Great.
Now, Rachel. I kind of reimagined Rachel's sort of ambition because I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with just having ambition for ambition's sake, but I thought it would be more interesting to involve her parents to kind of dig more into maybe an external source of that. And so her dad's former Broadway hopefuls have been pushing her to focus on developing her talents, keeping her eye on the goal of getting on Broadway. When we first meet her, she is actually singing Matthew Wilder's Break My Stride, which is actually the song that plays when she's on the elliptical in the very first episode. So she's actually going to sing that. Nothing's going to break her stride. Nothing's going to hold her down. She's got to keep moving, right? She is so focused. But we learn more about her dad's, that relationship, and how they've influenced her. Her birth mother, she is going to be introduced in the first season. And her birth mother, also played by Idina Menzel, obviously.
Timeline makes more sense, honestly, now.
She made it on Broadway. Had a similar situation with her parents. Her parents wanted her to be on Broadway. But now she wants to be away from that. She wants to have a family, not necessarily a sense of regret, but just the fact that, she wants something more than that right now. And, Rachel gets to kind of see the juxtaposition, the duality of that. And, I thought it'd be great for Idina Menzel to really channel her inner grandmother Willow and sing Listen to Your Heart from the Pocahontas movie, because this is Disney's Hannah Sylvester's Glee.
Yes.
And then I kind of been listening to a lot of Kelly Clarkson lately, and I think that Rachel would sing Breakaway to her dads, to Finn, to her birth mother, to Mr. Shu, everyone who's like in the auditorium watching her give her final performance at this school. She's breaking away. She's going to New York. She's going to Niata, making her dreams come true.
Better use of Breakaway than the original show.
I know. And I just kind of thought that she needed more to her than just like, she can be a brat. Like, I think there needs to be more to her, especially if like we want her to be a protagonist. I mean, she can obviously have her bratty moments, but I thought this sort of external conflict was kind of interesting. Potential. Now, they start with an actual friendship. They have a crush on each other, right? Well, they won't they? Not when are they gonna get together? When are they gonna break up? Type of relationship. It's built on mutual respect, and not just hormonal urges. Rachel thinks she can have love and Broadway dreams, so that's why she goes for Jesse. And of course, when Finn realizes that he has feelings for Rachel, his friend, sings Jesse's Girl. it's still such a great choice. But this number happens in a totally normal and not creepy way, unlike in the actual show.
I think you skipped a line.
I know.
Okay. Oh, you're waiting. Okay. I'll stop meddling. Yeah.
And then I think that, again, listening to a lot of Kelly Clarkson, I originally thought that Tina would sing Miss Independent, and I'm sure there's something for that. But for me, I think Rachel would sing this when she realizes she has feelings for Finn and that she's actually going to sort of shed her guard that she's had up because she's so focused on what her parents want her to be. And then I kind of skip ahead, to other moments that I see for them. Got really inspired by Katy Perry. I think Cullen would be proud. Finchel sings Not Like the Movies when they break up. And, it's sad. They realize that it's a lot harder to be together, to be in a relationship, and they're just not ready for that together at the moment. And then when they eventually get married at the end, they sing Unconditionally by Katy Perry. It's beautiful. New Directions is there helping out. It's a new generation of kids who don't know who these adults are, and it's great. I put in some Sue and Shu nonsense. Sue sings Milkshake by Kellis just for fun. Her milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. I don't know. She sings Katy Perry's Peacock when she's trying to seduce Will as a way to distract him from sectionals. And then Sue and Shu sing Don't Go Breaking My Heart by Elton John and Kiki D. In this situation, I see them sort of on, in the auditorium singing this song to each other or with each other. But then in the background, we're seeing them, sabotaging each other in like crazy hijinks by like banana peels on the floor, replacing Shu's Rogaine with whipped cream, those kind of hijinks. Just super dumb and, toxic, but in a way that's actually funny. Sure. Okay, I have an actual episode idea. Teenavention. The Glee girls bring Tina in for an intervention for her relationship with Artie, that it's completely toxic and horrible. They sing Girl by Destiny's Child. You're our girl. We're your girls. Don't you know that we love you? It's basically about like, this guy sucks. He's not treating you well. Like, you need to get out of this. You need to be you and do your thing. We're getting leads by Quinn, Rachel, Santana, Mercedes. They are leading this number, and it's beautiful. And then I just love this song, Just a Girl by No Doubt. Tina sings this. It's her sassy power anthem. She rages against the patriarchal machine. She breaks up with Artie, never to date him ever again.
That is a perfect song choice.
Thank you. Country Week. Okay, so I legitimately think that Sam was definitely onto something when he was like, let's do country music. However, I did say was that last episode? Where, what's his name?
Spencer.
Oh God, that's his name, Spencer. He's like, oh, we should do She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy. And I'm like, what? Out of all of the other songs that are out there, so I just picked a couple. I recently listened to Dust on the Bottle by David Lee Murphy. It might be a little dust on the bottle, but don't let it fool you about what's inside. There's something good there, right? It's a beautiful little love song. And I thought that this actually would take place when they're sort of in college, and Finn would sing this to his college girlfriend. Don't know who she is, but she's out there. Rachel sings 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton because she gets a job, and it's actually relevant. She works at a small theater in New York while she's going to NIADA. I thought 9 to 5 would be kind of fun. Maybe her and Kurt sing it because they live together. Kurt works at Vogue.com, maybe? I don't know. And then Puck and Artie sing Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks. Puck and Artie are both sniveling about the girls they were with. They left them because they were both garbage, and those women deserve better. And yeah, I think Puck and Artie, a party, it would be, I think that it would make sense for the song because they're sort of like, they're sniveling. That's kind of the only word I can think of it. So yeah, but again, I wanted to do like a Dolly week, but I couldn't quite figure out all the songs. I think Garth Brooks actually has a lot of other really good songs that would be good. Kenny Chesney, She Thinks, My Tractor's Sexy. I'm sure I could work it in there. Maybe Shu would sing it, and everyone would be like, ugh, gross, This is something that I have thought about for many, many years. Actually, probably since I was in college when Glee was still on. I wasn't really watching Glee, but I've been thinking about this mashup for a very long time. Now, the songs Bootylicious and Edge of 17 have a very similar guitar riff. And I want to say that Bootylicious is actually inspired by that guitar riff on Edge of 17. That's Stevie Nicks, Bootylicious, Destiny's Child. They did Bootylicious in, season 1 so long ago, but they never did Edge of 17. And I thought it could be a really fun mashup for Mashup Week. Mercedes Santana and Tina leading. So if you listen to those two songs, let me know what you think about possibly mashing them up. I hear some similarities, and I think it could be kind of cool. Christmas, my only idea. Santana sings Underneath the Tree by Kelly Clarkson to Britney. That's all. Shania Twain Week. I would think we would have maybe a Shania song in the country week, but we would do Shania Week when they're all in school still. Man, I Feel Like a Woman. I see Emma breaking out of her shell. She has friends that are other adult teachers, unnamed, but they're here. They have the necessary qualifications to be employed at the school as well. They're friends, and they're like, you know what, Emma, you gotta get out, go party, like be you, and really helping her out. I thought that would be fun. Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under? A song about cheating. I thought Kurt could sing this in front of the choir room to Blaine, just to twist the knife about the cheating, because that's a very Kurt move. That doesn't impress me much. Quinn saying this to Puck, who's trying to woo her, and she's like, you know what? So you've got a car. So you're Brad Pitt with a mohawk. That don't impress me much. Also, I think she would change or maybe we would skip the rocket science part, because Puck, not super smart. I don't know what we would put there. Maybe he's charming, something like that. I don't know. Any Man of Mine. This is sort of like setting standards. Like, Any Man of Mine has to, he's going to eat the food even if it's burned. Like, he's going to appreciate me. And I thought that was very Mercedes. And I figured, you know what? Maybe Matt's trying to woo her. Okay. And she's like, listen, Any Man of Mine, you've got to do this. That's what I see for her. I think this is the last slide after this. No, okay, it's not. I got one more. Disco Week. It's a competition episode. I know how much you guys love disco. Instead of Saturday Night Fever, which it's fine. The Bee Gees are great, whatever. But there are so many other good songs out there. Competition theme, 70s music. I think Shu is I think everyone's going to go for folk music. They're going to go for rock. We're going to go for full-on disco. But the Warblers, they sing disco. They sing Get Down Tonight by Casey and the Sunshine Band and Brick House by the Commodores. Blaine is still in the Warblers. He sings a song. She's a brick. Banana house.
I could see it. Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I could see a Warblers number of this. I'm so excited. Also, I think Do You Think I'm Sexy is on the Warblers album, but they never did it in the show. Oh. And I'm pretty sure that's also 70s. So maybe they would also do that number and actually put it in the show. New Directions, they do I'm Your Boogeyman. I thought Mike Chang being a lead would be kind of fun. I'm your boogeyman, boogeyman, turn me on. You guys are loving this disco. I can see it in your faces. Shining Star. That plays in the pilot episode. I thought it would be great if they actually did the number. And then Santana leads them in Donna Summer's Last Dance. An amazing slow start with an amazing disco finish. And then the Glee Club sings Celebration by Kool and the Gang when they win the competition. Makes sense. This is the final one. Another episode idea. I kind of teased this to Cullen the other day. It just kind of came to me. In Glee tradition, I work backwards from the song Let's Go Crazy by Prince. Matt, who gets spider eggs in his ear while in the locker room, he gets bit and he hallucinates the events of the episode, including some of the following. A rendition of the aforementioned Let's Go Crazy that he is leading. We get to hear him sing, get to see him dance. He develops some sort of character arc that, we don't know what it is yet. Brittany and Santana sing Spiderwebs by No Doubt. Again, working backwards from the spider idea. Makes sense. Shu and Sue sing Time of My Life from Dirty Dancing. And Sue actually lifts Shu up. They recreate the entire sequence from the movie. Like everything. Jerry Orbach lookalike is there. I don't know who it is. And then this is just because Matt imagines that they're actually not fighting and they're actually, you know, having a great time together. And that's my pitch. Do I get the money?
Very fun. Very fun. I love Tina singing No Doubt. Inspired. I think Matt with Spider Eggs, I think you should need to work in a Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark song.
I 100% thought this was going somewhere with Spider-Man because he got fit.
You know, I mean, it could definitely be. I like the Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark thing. I actually haven't listened to the soundtrack.
Can we also have his hallucinations in the style of Spider-Man into the multiverse?
Spider-Verse.
Is that what it is?
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Who owns that? Is that
like
Sony?
a Miles
Sony,
Morales
it's Sony.
that is Sony.
Damn it. Well, maybe we
It's,
can strike up a deal with Sony and get the art style.
It would. I don't know if you can claim the rights to an art style.
Yeah.
True.
I don't
Okay,
think
then
you
yes,
can,
we're doing it.
actually. So
I'm trying to think. There was I don't know, there's tons of songs about, you know, going upside down and all that stuff. It would work. I think it would be full on hallucination, kind of like the first Britney episode, but without the returning to normal moments until the very end. That's what I would want, full on crazy. That's what I want.
well, if he's hallucinating and we're gonna reference Spider-Man, we should just go all in and he just hallucinates that he is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. He's like swinging from buildings, but instead he's just like parkouring across like the picnic tables outside.
Not even doing it.
Yeah.
Although at this point we would need the rights.
Yeah, but this is Disney. Disney owns Marvel.
So they can do Spider-Man,
so
yeah.
They can.
It works. It works. Yeah. Again, very music heavy. This what was it? Tina Vention. What do you guys think of Tina Vention?
Love it.
I don't know the song.
Gotta listen to that
Girl.
song. Do a quick little listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's a good one.
Which slide is that?
Fuck, I don't have the number.
Oh no, I found it.
Oh, yeah, I gotta.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull it up too.
I'm gonna pull it up too.
I'm loving the vintage computer graphics in the
Yeah, the songs have a mix of like actual video and then like lyric videos.
This would be a fun one.
Don't try to convince us that you're happy.
I see it. I'm
Yeah.
your girl, we're your girls. Yeah.
Yeah. For once, some female solidarity. Because that's really what the show needs.
Truly. All right, Alyssa, what's your verdict as the judge?
Sorry, I'm listening. It's very loud. What?
What's your verdict as the judge?
Well, I have to hear both, right? Or do I just do?
This is not a competition. Here's
This
what's
is
happening.
Not a competition. Okay.
I'm pitching basically any of the gaps in Cullen's thing. I was like, here, I have an idea. Go for it. That's my role here.
I loved all of the songs that you chose, you know, the ones that I recognized, which was I would say I recognized about 75%, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah. And the situations that you pitched with those songs in particular were really great. I loved all of the situations. I'm going back over Tina Vention.
That's a great title, man. That's a great title.
Yes,
Thank you.
I like this. I like this episode. I like the concept. Thank God she's not with Artie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, 100% behind that.
Yay.
Um,
what do you guys think of the Rachel stuff?
I think that I like that you're trying to like add some layers, and that she should sing Breakaway.
Yes.
I think she was always like, that song is her to a T.
Mm-hmm.
And that making her parents more of an actual character in her life.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the show really needed that, so I also am 100% behind that. And I think, you know, like focusing on her ambition, but also like offset by, you know, like Cullen said, other parts of her personality, it's going to be really great. Because she only has like a singular layer of her personality in Glee as we know it. So
yeah,
I think that's really smart.
Yay. Well, I'm glad you guys like it.
All right, welcome to Gleeboot Season 1. This is how Cullen would reboot Glee. So this is only the first season, starting one season.
So the whole slideshow is one season?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
All right.
How many episodes? The original like 22 or like now modern 10?
15. We're in 15.
Perfect.
15 episodes. You did 75 slides for 15 episodes.
Oh, no. He has like character breakdowns with casting ideas.
Okay.
I'm like, I am not, I am here to just throw in ideas like, hey, you need something for this episode? Here, how about this? How about teen invention?
A Gleeboot. This could be detrimental to society, but could also be great. Glee had such potential. Glee is about opening oneself to joy. Lillian Adler. The joy is a link to the Spotify playlist.
Beautiful.
So we're starting with Rachel Berry. I put, I'm losing her name because I had some wine, but the lead actress from the original Broadway production of Mean Girls. And so these are more vibes. They're not like, I want this person, but this is the vibe we're going for. So Rachel Berry, she's ambitious. Her dreams to be a Broadway star. She's lonely. She doesn't have many friends, and her school has few artistic opportunities. Her main conflict is between her desire to be a star and her desire to have friends. And then we have Finn Hudson. This guy, I think he played Connor in the movie version of Dear Evan Hansen. He has a lot of Sam in him because Sam and Finn were always dangerously similar characters. So we are combining them. He is low on the totem pole of the football team. He is not the quarterback. He's on it, but he is not the leader. He's the sensitive, artistic type, the jock. He wants to make his mom proud, and he works hard despite his academic difficulties. His main conflict is he has to learn to accept himself and find what he wants as a person. Then we have Kurt Hummel. I do not know if this is an actor or a stock image, but I found a cute little biracial boy. He's an out gay student who loves art in all its forms. He's new to town from Chicago. He finds this town like rural and boring. His main conflict is trying to find a place to belong as an outsider. We have Tina Zhang. Our friend Margaret told me I was pronouncing this wrong way back when I made this, but sorry, I don't remember how she told me to pronounce it. She's an emo student in total rubble. She has a desire for the spotlight, but often feels like she doesn't deserve it, and so her arc is learning to love herself. We have Fernando Lopez. This is our update on Artie. He's Finn's childhood friend. He's very kind and chill. He loves music and basketball, and he has cerebral palsy. So he's not wheelchair bound, but he still has a physical disability. And his arc is learning confidence.
And this is Walt Jr. from Breaking Bad.
Oh, is that actor?
Yeah. I think so.
And then
wait, I have a question.
Tina Zhang, that actress played the main girl in Over the Moon. You have a question, Alyssa? Yes.
Yes. You said he loves music and basketball. Does he play basketball?
I don't think he's on the team, but he plays basketball recreationally.
Okay.
We have Mariah Jones. She's a lover of music and dance who loves to perform. She's named after Mariah Carey. She's active in her church and her community, and her arc is learning to be a team player and becoming a leader. So much like in Glee, this Mercedes character is kind of a mirror to Rachel, but instead of constantly being opposed, they learn to work together as leaders.
Love that.
We got Quinnifer Fabray. The head cheerleader, Finn's deeply Christian girlfriend. She's a top student. She wants to go to a top college. She's a little naive and she's driven. And her arc is learning to let go of her tight control of her life and her persona and be a little more kind. We have Santana Lopez. She's Fernando's older sister. She's fiercely protective and she's a cheerleader. She's a closeted lesbian and kind of rude. And her arc in this season is learning to accept her sexuality. And we have Britt Pierce, a ditzy cheerleader. She's bisexual. She kind of floats through life. And she's just learning to have fun in the Glee Club. And then Will Schuester, he's being played by Jonathan Groff.
I'm fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm just sweating everywhere.
A wedding singer turned music teacher. He has failed showbiz ambitions, so he's a bit of a control freak. And his arc is learning to put the kids before his ego.
Love this.
Our other characters, we have some antagonists. We have Sue. I just searched for an image of a Karen. She's the psychotic cheerleading coach who wants to destroy the Glee Club. We have Peter, the jerk quarterback who pressures Quinnifer into sex with him. And we have Jeff, the team captain of the Warblers. He's a rich but charismatic theater kid.
And his name is spelled Geoff, so we know he is spoiled and rich.
Yeah. Wait, no, back. Okay. We have Blaine. He's a warbler and he's Kurt's cute neighbor. We have Garrett, a popular but quiet boy that Mariah likes. We have Uther, Tina's toxic emo boyfriend. We have Dorothy. Her image is Kesha from the Raising Hell music video. She is a traveling feminist preacher who visits Mariah's church. We have Agnes, Mariah's tough but compassionate mom. Jackie, Finn's hardworking single mother. We have Scott, Quinnifer's wealthy, strict, and conservative father. Helen, Quinnifer's trophy wife mom. And Kevin, Kurt's down-to-earth father who moved from Chicago for a job at an auto plant. Jesse and Barry, because his name is Barry, Rachel's wealthy and doting parents. We have Flora, Quinnifer's religious grandma. And Figgins, the penny pinching principal. Let's get into the episodes. The pilot is Will being hired at McKinley to start the Glee Club. We open with Mariah's audition. She's singing Mariah Carey's Fantasy. And we meet the main characters as like a montage as we go around the hallway as she's singing. This song gives me zooming down the hallway vibes immediately. Like it's setting the scene. So we see Rachel being bullied by the cheerleaders. We see Finn is dating Quinnifer and the quarterback Peter is jealous. So he's mean to him. Finn is friends with Fernando, but he doesn't sit with him in class. So, like, there's, like, a popularity thing. And Fernando is into Tina, but she's with Uther. Kurt finds the school gross and annoying. He is slushied as he walks into his first day of school. And Will explains to Mariah that he was hired to revamp the Glee Club and teach music. Kurt wants something to do, so he auditions with As It Was by Harry Styles. Rachel is like, this is my big break. Because it turns out her dads are the ones who got Will hired because they complained about the lack of arts at the school. And she sings What Baking Can Do from the musical Waitress. And Tina auditions with the Halsey song Colors. She's looking for a way to just express herself. Fernando wants Finn to audition for Glee Club because in middle school they had a band together. And Finn wants to, but he heard Quinnifer like making fun of the Glee Club, so he's like too embarrassed. Fernando auditions with Treat You Better by Shawn Mendes because he's thinking of Tina and her jerk boyfriend. And then Finn realizes how lonely he is despite his like middling status. And he just wants to leave Lyme and support his mom. So he auditions with Santa Fe from Newsies.
Classic. Okay, quick question.
Yes.
The Glee Club doesn't exist until Will gets there.
Yes, this is the birth of the Glee Club. Sue is incensed that they took some of the Cheerios budget for the Glee Club, so she declares war on Will. Will is disappointed with the first rehearsal, and he thinks this job will be too hard with the Sue stuff, so he's like, maybe I'm going to quit. So then Finn and Rachel lead a group in a performance of Bastille's Thelma plus Louise. It's all about like breaking free. Days like this, you want to get away. And this makes Will change his mind. So Glee Club is here to stay. That's the pilot.
Nice.
Episode 2, Gleeful. The Glee Club clashes with Will about their first assembly. It's a familiar storyline, perhaps. So Will wants the Glee Club to have stage presence, so he sings Little Red Corvette by Prince to kind of like show them what's up. And then he announces that Figgins, I spelled announces wrong. He has him to perform at an assembly on body positivity. So he wants them to sing Meghan Trainor's All About That Bass. Rachel and Mariah are like, that's a bad choice. So they rebel and they lead the Glee Club in a mashup of Selena Gomez's Who Says with Meghan Trainor's Made You Look. And it's a really corny performance, so everyone really makes fun of them in the school. And so then Peter is really making fun of Finn, Peter the quarterback, because Finn's in the Glee Club. And Quinnifer is like, you need to quit. And he's like, Glee Club can be sexy. So he's trying to impress Quinnifer and the cheerleaders. And the Glee guys Glee guys. So that is Kurt, Finn, and Fernando. They sing Sucker by the Jonas Brothers, trying to be like Glee Club sexy. So then Sue hires Quinnifer, Santana, and Britt. They're like, you got to be my spies for the Glee Club. And they audition with Candy Store from Heathers, a classic Three Mean Girls song. And so now we are at episode 3, Secrets. Secrets Revealed. There. All right. So the Glee Club is working on their first competition piece. It is Helpless from Hamilton. Rachel and Mariah are fighting over the solo, so Will suggests a diva off.
Oh, boy.
Meanwhile, Kurt and Tina go undercover as prep school boys to spy on their private school competition at Dalton. Dalton is in the same town. But it is the private school.
Snaps.
There we go.
Kurt,
I'm so happy.
He has ulterior motives because he wants to spy on Blaine, his neighbor who goes there. It's your neighbor. So
Kurt loves a lurk too.
Yes. So they disguise themselves and they sing "I'll Make a Man Out of You" from Mulan, Disney's Glee. And then, meanwhile, Peter is pressuring Quinnifer to break up with Finn and go out with him, and he refers to a time when they had sex after he got her drunk. So they're spying on the Warblers. So Kurt and Tina, they spy on the Warblers to do a mashup of Fountains of Wayne, Stacy's Mom, and 1985 by Bowling for Soup.
Great choice.
Yeah, classic emo anthems. So Mariah and Rachel, they decide they sing together instead of a diva off. They sing Beyonce's Pretty Hurts because they bond over their demanding parents. So they ask Will that they can, like, maybe they'll do Helpless and Satisfied from Hamilton, and then they each get a solo. Meanwhile, Quinnifer finds out she's pregnant. Santana and Britt are there, and they promise not to tell anyone, but Quinnifer is devastated that her dreams of getting out of this town may not come true. So she sings the song Legally Blonde from Legally Blonde, which is about basically like giving up your dreams. Like a blonde pretty girl is all you'll ever be. All right, so now we're in episode 4, Homecoming. Homecoming at McKinley, the drama heats up. So Rachel and Mariah, they're trying to get dates. So they post a video of them singing Shania Twain's that don't impress me much, like making fun of the guys at their school to be like reverse psychology. And then, but it failed. Everyone makes fun of them. And Mariah's crush, Garrett, calls it cringy, and he asks Britt to Homecoming. So then Mariah and Rachel decide to go to Homecoming together. You know, like, we're going to go as friends. Kurt starts hanging out with Blaine. And Blaine, because Blaine probably discovered him when they were at Dalton. So they're hanging out more, and Blaine invites Kurt into his music room, and they sing 10 Minutes Ago from Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. And Kurt asks Blaine to Homecoming, and he accepts. But at Homecoming, Tina and Uther get in a fight, and Uther leaves her at the dance. And so she ends up dancing a slow dance with Fernando. And meanwhile, Peter is still bothering Quinnifer and Finn at Homecoming, and he implies that he's had sex with Quinnifer, but Finn doesn't believe him. He trusts his girlfriend. And then Finn and Quinnifer lead a dance at Homecoming, singing Shut Up and Dance by Walk the Moon. And they win King and Queen, but Quinnifer throws up when she's being crowned. And so when the crowd starts laughing, the Glee girls come to her aid, and they do a medley of songs from the musical Six, including Ex-Wife, Don't Lose Your Head, I Don't Need Your Love, and Six. And the next day at school, she tells Finn that she's pregnant, and she says it's from the hot tub incident.
Ah, the hot tub incident.
Yes. now it's time for Halloween. We're having a Halloween special. So at the music store, Rachel meets Jeff, the captain of the Warblers. He invites her to his big Halloween party. He has had a secret meeting with the cheerleaders because they're paying him, so the money that Sue is paying them, to be interested in Rachel. And then all the teens in town, they're at this Halloween rager, and the Cheerios sing Black Magic by Little Mix. Finn is ignoring his Glee friends, especially Fernando, for the jocks. And at the party, Rachel and Jeff do a karaoke duet of Ariana Grande's Into You and kiss, because I'm so into you, right? Mm-hmm. And then, meanwhile, Fernando is sad that Finn is ignoring him, and he locks himself in the bathroom, singing Michael in the Bathroom for Be More Chill. Which is a song about locking yourself in a bathroom at a Halloween party.
Love it. You worked backwards from that, didn't you?
I did. Meanwhile, at the party, Finn sees Peter kissing Quinnifer, and Kurt sees it too. And so then Kurt, Tin, and Mariah corner Peter. They're like, what's going on? He tells them about the pregnancy, and he insists that he's the father. But he's an asshole, so they get why Quinnifer wants Finn to be the father, so they get it. They're like, oh, I missed a slide. Oh my gosh. I'm like, wait, some things aren't making sense. So earlier in the episode, before the party, Finn tells Fernando and Kurt that Quinnifer is pregnant. So they know. And Kurt immediately spills to Tina and Mariah because he can't keep a secret, and this is the most exciting drama in his life. And so they sing Bad Guy by Billie Eilish as they prepare for Halloween, but they're also running around the school trying to figure out who the real father is. And like the hot tub story, they know like that's not real. So like, something's going on. So that's why they confront Peter about the pregnancy. So meanwhile, at the Halloween party, Finn goes outside to sulk, and he sees Santana being broken up with by a secret girlfriend that nobody knows about. He promises not to tell. Next Glee Club meeting, Finn sings Mr. Brightside by the Killers, but Rachel and Quinnifer both think he is singing about them. Like, it was only a kiss. It was only a kiss. Mm. And the pregnancy rumors get to Sue, and Quinnifer is kicked off the Cheerios, and Kurt, Tina, and Mariah, because they were kind of like being loose with the secret, feel bad. So now time for sectionals. The first big competition. So at sectionals, Quinnifer is furious with Finn for the secret getting out. Finn confronts Kurt and Fernando because he told them, and now the secret's out, but Fernando's like, you've been selfish. And so in Glee Club, Finn apologizes by singing Sorry by Justin Bieber. And then Finn pushes for Fernando and Tina to be leads in the mashup because he wants to do something different in sectionals instead of the two Hamilton songs. And Rachel's pissed at him. She's like, me and Mariah had this worked out. Like, we're singing these two songs. So Rachel complains to Jeff, and she explains that they're doing Hamilton. So then they get to sectionals, and the Warblers do Helpless mashed up with Physical by Dua Lipa. And everyone is pissed at Rachel because she's the one that leaked it. Mm-hmm. So then Quinnifer, meanwhile, is asking Santana and Britt if, like, is it worth, like, being sleeper agents in the Glee Club? And they stand by it. But Fernando and Tina lead the group in a last-minute mashup of Ed Sheeran's Shivers with Rachel Platten's Shivers. And we get a flashback to Finn and Rachel rallying the panic group and deciding on Don't Stop Believing. So their final song is Don't Stop Believing by Journey, and they win sectionals. This is the only repeat song. Okay. Don't Stop Believing. Rachel confronts Jeff for his betrayal, and he says he was hired, but he doesn't say by who. Blaine insists he knows nothing about the stolen set list, but Kurt still breaks up with him. And then, meanwhile, at Quinnifer's wealthy parents' house, they're hosting a victory celebration. And Scott Fabre breaks out victory champagne, and Rachel's like, this isn't appropriate, but Will is like, it's fine. But Scott keeps pushing Quinnifer to drink, and she doesn't want to, and she eventually refuses, or she blurts out that she's pregnant. This is an homage to Ellen trying to force Mariah Carey to drink champagne to announce that she was pregnant, and then she had a miscarriage. So
that came into my mind too.
Yeah. Scott is furious. He kicks Quinnifer out of the house in front of everyone, and the Glee Club is horrified. And Quinnifer moves in with Finn and his single mother, Jackie. Episode 7, Great Big Sled. It's Christmas time.
Woo!
So, Kurt...
Wait, no Thanksgiving? Are you serious? Come on.
That was sectional. That was November.
That would be way too much. Can you imagine Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas all in one season? God.
Yeah. So Kurt, he loves Christmas, and he sings Christmas Every Day by queer icon David Archuleta as he leads the Glee Club in decorating. Tina tells Fernando that last Christmas she was dumped, and she wants Uther to stay with her. They're having an on-again, off-again relationship, and she sings Ariana Grande's Santa Tell Me in Glee Club, and it's an idea for this Christmas concert performance because they have to do this fundraiser for the Glee Club. But Will wants Rachel to be the lead. So, because Sue is blackmailing Figgins, gets him to drop the Glee Club's funding, and so he needs them to perform at this concert to raise money. So Uther, he doesn't like Tina's gift that she got him for Christmas, and he dumps her for being too needy, which is like having basic needs. So Quinnifer, meanwhile, is visiting her grandma Flora in the nursing home, the only family member that still talks to her. And she asks if the Glee Club would perform at the nursing home Christmas celebration. Quinnifer asks Will, but it's the same night as the Christmas concert. So he's like, we can only do one. And they're rehearsing for the concert with Rachel singing Kelly Clarkson's Underneath the Tree.
Of course.
Meanwhile, Finn is feeling trapped because of the pregnancy. And he sees Blaine at like the town like Christmas wishing tree, and they sing a mashup of Great Big Sled and Don't Shoot Me Santa Claus by the Killers. And he runs into Rachel under the mistletoe, and he confides in how he feels about everything in his life, and they kiss. Meanwhile, Jeff and Blaine are trying to get back Kurt and Rachel, and so them and the Warblers do a cover of Mariah Carey's Oh Santa. And they're like, we really had feelings for you. So Rachel gets back together with Jeff, but Kurt, he's not buying it. He's not into Blaine anymore. Rachel tells Finn that he should be with Quinnifer and be responsible. She's going to be with Jeff now, and that's someone who can be with her. You know, she only wants to be with someone who can return her feelings. So Kurt and Quinnifer convince the Glee Club to ditch the Christmas concert and go to the nursing home. And they sing a mashup of the classic Happy Holidays / the holiday season with What Child Is This? Quinnifer's mother, Helen, is there, and she starts sneaking Quinnifer money for the doctors. So she's going to try and do what she can to help Quinnifer without, like, open defiance. Sue's older sister is in the nursing home, and she tells Sue that the Glee Club did that. So Will is furious because now they have no money, but Sue gets the money back because the Glee Club performed at the nursing home. And she's like, okay, these kids are doing something for the community. Now we get to New Year, New Taylor. So Will thinks that they should do Taylor Swift for regionals. So Rachel opens with Love Story, and we see shots of her and Jeff dating, and everyone is like, girl, he betrayed you. And she's like, you don't understand. Tina, meanwhile, is jealous of the cheerleaders' popularity, and she sings Gold Rush, which is like, what would it be like to grow up so beautiful? There's like a big lyric there. Fernando asks her out, but she says she's still not ready with Uther, and he's like cool about it. He's like, okay, that's fine. Mariah is trying to reinvent herself with the help of Santana and Britt, and she sings Bejeweled from the new album Midnights with the cheerleaders and impresses her crush Garrett. Meanwhile, Finn takes Kurt line dancing because he's trying to get him used to Ohio, and they dance perform Our Song from the debut album, and they end up kissing on their way back home. But then Kurt sings Girl at Home from Red. You leave me alone, you got a girl at home, and everybody knows that in Glee Club. And everyone is like, spill the tea, what's going on? And Kurt's like, mum's the word, because he learned his lesson from last time. Sort of. He's still saying a song about it. Santana, she reads between the lines. She's closeted. She knows what's up. And she confronts Finn, gets him to admit it. And she's like, I'm going to tell Quinnifer. But then he's like, I'm going to tell your brother that you're a secret lesbian. So, villain era. Taylor Swift gets 2 episodes because she has so many albums. So
back to back. Do they debut on the same night?
Maybe. It's kind of like the Beatles got the 2 episodes.
Right.
Yeah. So Rachel and Jeff, they're performing together. They sing Style. But she tells him about the Christmas kiss with Finn, and he's like, it's okay, it was before we were together. Finn and Santana decide to settle their feud in a basketball match, and they sing a mashup of Look What You Made Me Do and Katy Perry's Swish Swish, 2 songs about the same feud. Finn wins, but he's like, you know what? I'm not going to expose you, Santana. Like, that's shitty. So meanwhile, Peter is pressuring Quinnifer to be with him. She's tempted as he's from a wealthy family and he's more popular than Finn. And she sings Illicit Affairs about it. And Finn is like, are you cheating? And she's like, no. Blaine and Kurt meet up to talk, and they end up singing Daylight. one of Taylor Swift's best love songs, and they decide to start talking again, but Kurt isn't ready to commit. The Glee Club does a performance, perhaps regionals, of Long Live from Speak Now, and they have a fairy tale sequence because it's like I had the time of my life fighting dragons with you. Quinnifer and Finn, they're the leads, and this annoys Santana so much that she spills about Finn's kiss with Kurt. And Finn is like, oh, Quinnifer, I'm so sorry, but she collapses because she tells him, like, you're not even the father of this baby. And then when he finds out that a lot of the Glee Club knew that, he quits. Now time for Team Player, episode 10. So Quinnifer moves in with Mariah. Finn is furious at Quinnifer and the Glee Club, and he sings Part of Me by Katy Perry. It's a part of me that you'll never take away from me. Quinnifer is having trouble adjusting to her new life, and Mariah is comforting her, and they do a mashup of Fairy Tale Life The Wish from Disenchanted and Home from the Beauty and the Beast musical. Will is trying to win Finn back to the Glee Club, and he does a performance of Street Corner Symphony by Rob Thomas. And this performance takes up so much of the hallway that infuriates Sue, who decides to destroy the Glee Club again. Rachel keeps talking about Finn and trying to get him to rejoin the Glee Club, and that makes Jeff mad. And so they break up and they sing Make You Say by Maren Morris and Zed so loudly in the park that it ruins Sue's yoga class. And the rage is real. Sue and the cheerleaders are then harassing Finn, the Glee Club, with What the World Needs from Ride the Cyclone, which is basically this song where this girl is like, the world needs someone like me, and it's just like dissing at everyone else, like for being dumb or gay. Like it's very Sue. And then so Fernando then convinces the Glee Club to apologize to Finn for keeping the secret. And they're also, Finn is distressed because rumors of him being gay are coming out. So they sing Stay With You by the Goo Goo Dolls. And they all get together, and Sue sets the auditorium on fire in open war against the Glee Club.
Oh my God.
Now it's time for the religion episode 11, Give Love. So Quinnifer is going to Mariah's church because she can't go to her old church because of her dad. And Dorothy, this liberal pastor, is there, and she inspires the girls. So Quinnifer and Mariah sing Head Above Water in Glee Club. Maybe they start singing it at church and it transitions to Glee Club. Meanwhile, Santana opens up to Fernando about her sexuality, and she's afraid that God and their dead mom, they have a dead mom, and their abuela will reject her. And Fernando says she doesn't come out to the family just yet, but that God, he knows that God and their mom still love her. And they sing a mashup of Andy Grammer's Give Love, mashed up with Lemons by Ashley Tisdale, which are both songs about working through hard times, giving love, and they involve dead moms. Or not dead, but advice from moms. One involves a dead mom. One involves just advice from mom. So then they talk to Dorothy, and Dorothy helps Quinnifer try and talk to her dad and like try and let her come back home. He still refuses, but Dorothy is helping Quinnifer get set up with a good adoption agency, like good opportunity for a child. And Dorothy leads the Glee Club in a mashup of two Kesha songs, Praying and Raising Hell. Sue is mad that they sang about faith, and she posts it to TikTok, and they're getting canceled by atheist and Christian influencers. And then Mariah and the Glee Club sing about parents and faith with Children Will Listen from Into the Woods. That's the instead of One of Us, that's the all white kind of like ending. Not all white, but like they're wearing all white.
Right. Yeah. I didn't just only the white people in this song.
So next is By Carly, the Carly Rae Jepsen tribute episode all about bisexuality.
Love it.
Yay.
Is there an iCarly reference? The show.
There will be like jokes. I should have if it wasn't a Carly Rae Jepsen tribute episode, you could put a cover of Leave It All to Me, the Carly Rae Jepsen or the iCarly theme music.
Yeah.
So Kurt and Blaine, they're talking again, still communication issues. So Kurt, he's been begging for this Carly Rae Jepsen week for months, and Will relents. And so Kurt and the girls do a mashup of Boy Problems and Beach House. Beach House, I'm going to say, is the new that don't impress me much because it's basically about the horrors of Tinder in Los Angeles. And then Boy Problems is about boy problems. So Finn, he asks Rachel out now that they're both single. And she's like, you're a lot of drama. And so they sing a mashup of Happy Not Knowing, which is a song about like, if there's something between you and me, I'd rather not know. And he sings Run Away With Me, which is like, let's run away. Meanwhile, Peter is dating Britt to get back at Quinnifer, who won't be with him, which hurts both Quinnifer and Santana. And Britt casually mentions that she's bisexual. Game changer. So Rachel, Mariah, and Tina want Will to finalize a set list. They're worried about having enough rehearsal time for regionals.
I love this. Thank you.
Will assures them that he's working on a set list. He's just distracted by a 5-hour video essay Sue made on how he's problematic. Kurt asks Finn to go with him to a Warbler party. They go, and Blaine and Jeff sing Talking to Yourself, which is like a song about, are you thinking of me when you're with somebody else? Do you talk to me when you're talking to yourself? So Blaine and Kurt get together, and Jeff seduces Finn, and they hook up.
Whoa.
Meanwhile, Santana is sad that Britt is with Peter, and she sings Your Type, which is so perfect for this because it's, I'm not the type of girl for you. I'm not going to pretend that I'm the type of girl that you'd see as more than a friend. So then Jeff reveals that he recorded him and Finn, and he's going to threaten to release it to get back at Finn and Rachel. Finn is distraught because he knows like the team would reject him, but Kurt and Fernando are like, the Glee Club will always accept you. Will reveals the first song for their regional set list, Cut to the Feeling, by Carly Rae Jepsen, an empowering pop happy anthem. Time for Rainbow, a week all about coming out. So Sue pays Jeff to out Finn online. And so Peter and the football team bully and ostracize him. He sings Waving Through a Window from Dear Evan Hansen. Kurt helps Finn come out to his mom. And then Fernando encourages Santana to ask Britt out by maybe doing a duet to confess their feelings. And they sing If Only from the Little Mermaid musical, Britt and Santana, which is like, if only you knew the things I couldn't say. So Britt asks Santana if she really feels that way for her, and Santana meekly nods. But because Britt breaks up with Peter because he's being homophobic, and she doesn't like that. Meanwhile, Rachel reports Peter and Jeff to Figgins and the police for child pornography. Both Peter and Jeff are arrested, and she tries to implicate Sue because Sue paid them to do it. Sue has this whole school wiretapped, so she retaliates by planting weed in Will's bag, getting him fired. Finn and Santana, they make up and they come out and they sing Rainbow by Kesha. I used to live in the darkness, dress in black, act so heartless, but now I see that colors are everything. And then Kurt and Tina lead the group in Lady Gaga's Rain on Me to celebrate. I had the same plot point on this slide twice. All right. Now time for Dreamers, the Dreams episode 14.
Cullen's favorite.
The theme is dreams. So Devastated Will and Rachel sing a duet of Any Dream Will Do from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. The Glee Club. There was a plot, I'm realizing I didn't cut, where Rachel was cut from the Glee Club at this point. And so they're sitting with her, but because Will was more of an antagonist in the first draft. Now he's not like the hero, but he's not like a villain either. Sue announces the theme of the regionals is dreams. So they're going to do an original rap she wrote about the end of the American dream because of Democrats. So she is trying to sabotage them. So Tina and Fernando, they put together an emo mashup of Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day and Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by Annie Lennox. And Tina tells Fernando she's ready to go out with him, and they have a nice first date. Quinnifer encourages Mariah to finally ask Garrett out. Rachel talks to her dads about the situation at school, and they are furious, and they complain to Figgins, and they file a lawsuit. Kurt and Finn, they go on a date, but they decide they'd be better as friends, but they make a plan. So they do a mashup of Once Upon a Dream from Sleeping Beauty and A Dream Is What Your Heart Makes from Cinderella. And Sue hates it, and she attacks them with food and with like homophobic slurs. And this is just in time for Figgins and the school board to see it. So they instantly fire Sue for attacking students. Kurt's dad, Kevin, and Finn's mom, Jackie, now are the temp coaches. This is maybe the beginning of a romance between them. Rachel is there, and they lead the group in What Dreams Are Made Of by Hilary Duff.
This is what dreams are made of.
Just,
hey now.
We're launching into our final episode, Regionals, the season finale.
Woo.
So Finn and Rachel sing Check Yes, Juliet by We the Kings as a warm-up, and they're like laughing together, so some sparks are maybe returning. Will passes on to Kevin and Jackie that Sue lied about the theme. The theme is identity in musical theater, not dreams. He was getting an email. He was not getting an email about rituals because Sue hacked his emails, but he figured that out. So Blaine and Kurt, they meet up at the music store because they can't stop thinking about each other, and they sing Katy Perry's Never Really Over before deciding to get back together. Back. All right. No, the other way. Right. Spoilers. Sue leads local groups in protest of the Glee Club, saying it made Finn and Santana gay and Quinnifer pregnant. Mm-hmm. And the Glee Club members tell them off. And so Mariah and Rachel lead the Glee Club in picking a set list, and the Glee Club votes for Mariah and Rachel to get the 2 leads because they're the 2 leaders. So at regionals, they perform This Is Me from The Greatest Showman with Mariah as lead, and Rachel takes the lead in Icy Stars from the musical Mean Girls. Will's in the audience, cheers them on. Sue and the protesters try and cancel the show, but Santana and Britt tell Sue they will reveal all of the illegal kickbacks for the cheerleading team to the police, who are already investigating her for the child porn stuff, so if she doesn't lay off. So they perform, winning over their haters, but they still lose. But Britt and Santana do kiss. And then Helen Fabray, in the meantime, she's got her own job in an apartment. And she's like, Quinnifer, we're ready. We can live together now.
Okay, what's her job? She curing meats?
She's curing meats.
She's got a honey-baked ham business out of that little apartment.
So Glee Club may be disbanded as Figgins doesn't want to give funds to a losing club. So as the last hurrah, they sing Happiness from Your Good Man, Charlie Brown, which is about happiness is about small things. And there's a line that says, happiness is about those that sing with you. Perfect. And as the lights close and what may be the last Glee Club rehearsal, Finn turns to Rachel and offers her his hand because she's the last one on stage. She takes it. They walk off together. And the future of Finn and Rachel's relationship and the status of the Glee Club is uncertain.
Wow.
And that is Glee But Better. What do you think? Thanks. That's my final slide go obligated slide.
Love it.
Yay! Well done.
I mean, these storylines are so organic that in a way, the actual show does not make them.
Yes. Well, and I think it's because there's only 15 episodes and there's only you stretched out a storyline from the original show that was in one episode. You stretched it out over 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. So it makes so much more sense.
It's not a sitcom setup that you have in Glee then. It's still more story focused.
Yeah, because let's be real, if Glee is coming out now, it's not going to be a show.
No, it's not going to be a sitcom.
Yeah, it's not going to be designed for people to just tune in and not know what's going on, because that's not really how we make TV anymore. So it's going to be probably on a streaming service. So you want people to be able to pick up on storylines.
Yeah.
Bingeable, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So to be where's this storyline going from last week? Not beginning of the episode, we got a whole new story.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the stuff with Finn. He's an actual person.
I love that you mashed up Sam and Finn together. They were really close. I also love that he was bi in the whole bi episode. That was great.
And it's in the first season too. I mean, that makes sense for the new version of Glee, the actual Gleeboot. You would have everyone exploring their sexuality from day one, because that's what happens. You're oh, I'm having these feelings. They don't just suddenly appear all the time. It's
And modern, let's be real, Gen Z wouldn't tolerate a show with only one gay person and a bunch of straights now.
Exactly.
That just wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also like the Rachel Mariah stuff. The solidarity. I actually wonder, it makes me curious more of the Rachel Quinnifer stuff.
There's sorry to the Fayberry stands. I didn't really do a lot of the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but also I think it's what happens to, they're like, do they actually become friends? Like, where do they stand? Because she becomes friends with Mariah.
Yeah.
Jennifer. So
I think what I was starting to feel though is I do think Rachel needs a little more in this. I think it does lean into like a lot of it is relationship based, either like whether it's romantic or the friendship with Mariah.
Right.
But it is like I wanted to include an element is that she's someone who's driven, but who ultimately wants to do the right thing. So when the stuff with like the outing of people and stuff, she's like, no, that's not right. That's child pornography. And she's not going to tolerate that.
Yeah.
Like, that's my vision for Rachel. It still has that way that Lea Michele would walk down the hallway, like the upright, like, brum, brum, brum. But she's like, that's unjust. Like, she wouldn't report Cindy Ryerson because she didn't get the solo. She'd be like, that's not right.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Like, I think you and I did the same thing of like trying to give her goodness, something to root for.
Because I think there was a little bit of that to her in season 1.
Right.
And I think the characters became so paper thin as the show went on that it just became like, have you heard of Flanderization? Have you heard of that term? It comes from, I think, Ned Flanders in Simpsons, because he started off as like, he was just like, he was Christian, but he was trying to do the right thing. And eventually he became like an archetype of everything weird about American Christianity.
Yeah.
And so that people use that as a term to describe like when a sitcom character, like their personality essentially erodes to like the most ridiculous aspects of themselves. So it's like unrecognizable.
Like Sue.
Sue, yeah, like I feel like, but that happened kind of almost all the Glee Club characters, or if they didn't have any recognizable traits, they really were whatever the episode needed them to be. Like Tina.
I liked Tina, the new Tina. This Uther person is really interesting. So is Tina legitimately goth?
Yeah.
Okay, she's not just like, she's not going to go in, or is she going to go into a go-go phase? Do we know this yet?
She might. I think she's still young. She's finding herself. And like, she's still definitely like she's not the lead, right? She's a side character, but she still has like plots and introspection. She's still like a member of the team. Like, I think I wanted to make them all, especially like they're all friends. They all like help and support each other.
So you said you had a storyline of like Rachel being kicked out of the Glee Club, but you kind of cut that. What was that
because
before?
Initially Will was going to be mad that she leaked the thing about child pornography because she went over his head, and he was going to let her go. And I was like, because Will initially was like the antagonist, and Sue barely did anything. And I was like, I think we need a wild Sue. And I think like as we saw less and less of Will, my animosity died down. So I was like able to objectively look back and be like, okay, you need the teacher character, even if they're flawed, to be on their side. Because just mechanically, if the villain is in the club, like it just doesn't quite work. Yeah.
Especially if it's literally the adult.
Yeah.
And so do we have any backstory with Will? What do you see for him at all? If at all?
I think he definitely he's not a lead. I think his thing is learning to be like, this is about the kids. And that will actually end up giving him fulfillment, not his showbiz dreams. And so if they win regionals eventually or nationals, he doesn't do the Will thing where he's like, oh, what do I do now? Oh my gosh. He's like, I'm so proud of these kids and helping these kids use music to not just become Broadway stars, but to like learn about themselves and to like have a better education and a better high school experience. Like that fulfills me more than showbiz ever could.
Right.
I think that's ultimately a lot of these arcs I feel like are what the show kind of wanted initially.
Right.
But are just kind of lost in the hubbub and in trying to shock.
Yes. Yeah, because this has a lot of heart to it that the show didn't get to. And I think it's, like as much as Glee wanted to like boast about acceptance and stuff, there's a lot of non-acceptance going around. And there's a lot of just like, a lot of love and respect happening. And it is very much a Gen Z show where like Glee, I feel like the shock and awe, it feels very millennial.
It is. And because at the time they had to do almost the hateful stuff so they could do the accepting. Like
Right.
we can be okay with gays as long as we're fat phobic, like those kind of weird things that people had to do in the 2000s.
Mhm.
And I feel like now people don't buy that shit. So you don't need to do it. You can just have them be full on accepting, even if they're still like snarky and goofy.
Yeah, I think it's very much written for the new audience that would be watching it for sure. It's good.
Thank you.
Alyssa, what do you think? She's got her hand behind her back. All right, here we go.
I think this is way better than Glee.
Yeah, I mean, I was legitimately
I would
invested.
watch this.
Yeah.
It's giving me very like sex education vibes, but poppier with more music, But I feel like the learning and the relationships and stuff is on that level. Let's see. Okay, my turn. I don't have a PowerPoint, and this is not Gleeboot, because I'm gonna say Glee should remain dead. Oh my god!
She finally made it to the end of the podcast. She's like, I can finally say it. It should stay where it is.
Glee is dead. However, I think it would be interesting to do a spinoff in which Jesse and Rachel have been married. Rachel's career takes off and Jesse's fizzles out, and he has to move back to Ohio, bringing with him the twins that they created. One of the twins takes after Rachel majorly, and the other one is a band student. And so the entire show is the interaction between band and Glee.
What would it be called? What do you think? What do you think the spinoff's called? It's gotta be something with music.
I don't know.
The
I
band
don't
is
have a
back.
title.
Boys in the band.
Yeah, boys.
Band together.
And what's Rachel doing? She's
Something-
like, I'm just Broadwaying. I can't take care of her children. Like, I have to Broadway. Like, you do
She
it.
would do that.
Yeah, good for her.
She would do that.
He's basically like a stay-at-home dad, but he's also like working. Is he working at the school?
He is the Will Schuester person. So, and he hasn't had a relationship with his children. So this is a fascinating dynamic.
Ooh.
I love it.
And maybe he's at Vocal Adrenaline instead of the weird music school that McKinley has become.
Oh yes,
Yeah, 'cause it is a big art school.
Because why would he go to McKinley? He's definitely a Vocal Adrenaline. That's my pitch. It's a spinoff, and
I love
it's
it.
2 sentences long. Thank
I
you.
love it. We did it, guys. We pitched the Gleeboot, our spinoff.
Yeah. Let us know what you liked about our ideas, what you hated. Be nice with what you hate, but let us know.
Yeah,
or like your ideas for a Gleeboot, like what you would do.
What would you do?
I don't know.
What would you change? What would you add to ours? And what are just some of the like crazy, like especially like I didn't do a lot of like new songs that have come out because I'm not a big new song person. I am late to the party always. I don't discover songs until many years after. And so what are like new songs come out in the past, I don't know, 5 years that you could see happening in this version of the Gleeboot?
And don't say WAP.
Say WAP and give us your ideas.
Yeah, if you're gonna say WAP, don't just say WAP. You have to give us the context, why they're doing WAP and who's
Prove
singing
it to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was great. And it made me really miss writing and being creative.
This was so much fun, and it's because the thing is, Glee is such a great premise, so it's like that's why I'm like it can be done well. I think so much of Glee is of its time, and so we can't necessarily shame it for that.
And of the real life factors that impacted the show.
Yeah. But it's fun to be like, how would you do it? Like, especially how you would do it now, and how it would appeal to kids today.
Yeah. Yay, we did it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Glee is booted.
What's
Oh my
next
goodness.
episode? Because it's not gonna be next week. It's gonna be next episode.
Next episode is the Gleekies.
Gleekies.
Woo! Award season.
The biggest Glee Awards show ever.
Ever
Uh,
created.
I haven't done the research, but I'm pretty sure it would be. I haven't given any total all Glee Award shows. So
Love it.
put us in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Can we submit it? Maybe I'll look that up. Yeah, we did it. We Gleebooted. We're doing Gleekies next episode. The Gleekies are closed as of this point. So we have the answers. But if you did want to like send us messages or comment on Instagram, give us any other sort of opinions you have. Maybe we'll read the opinions at the Gleekies as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people were not always happy with the nominees. But
What do you think of our nominees? Because here's the thing, especially when it comes to the music. Listen, I really struggled.
100%.
And also picking moments. I was finding top number moments that Will rapped. Helping Alyssa and I out So if there's stuff that stood out to you that you would rather pitch for a nominee, let us know. We want to talk about it during the Gleekies.
we're so excited. It has been such a journey, and we're so excited we got to this point. We're even more excited to really end on this like really salute to our fans and to everyone that has made Gleeboot so special.
Because after the Gleekies, it is the end. That's it.
Yeah. Can I tell you guys something?
Yeah.
I almost sent you guys Christmas gifts, but I did not have the money to spend on this. I was going to buy all three of us the two or three Glee books, and so we can have our Glee book club.
Yes.
But that would have been like $60 or something between.
That's not worth it. That's not
I was
worth
like,
it.
that's a lot right now for me, guys. Love you.
Yeah, no,
But
it's okay.
I respect you too much to waste my money like that.
Yeah, but I mean, Gleeboot 2019 to 2023.
Rest in fucking pieces. No, this has been, we'll talk more next episode, but so glad we did this.
Yeah.
Yay.
Me too. I should say that.
Yeah, because we really just dragged you into it. We just threw you down in Cullen's mattress. We're like, hey, do this podcast with us.
Yeah,
That
we did the
really
first
sexual.
episode in person on my mattress, recorded on my iPhone.
And look where Cullen is now. He has a bed frame.
Yes, I know.
I have a best friend.
Congratulations.
So impressive.
Not the fact you got married, you fell in love. Fuck that. You have a bed frame now, my friend.
Yeah, it is.
True mark of adulthood.
A lot happened to us throughout this podcast.
And the world.
Did it have anything to do with Glee? Who's
Maybe.
to say?
It's just at the price of Glee. Don't watch it.
Don't watch it. Fuck that. Oh my god. There was this whole I failed myself. I clicked on a clickbait article that was like, this Glee actor like encouraged Corey Monteith to drink and led to his back spiral that caused it whatever. And then they didn't list the actor. And I was like, why do I want to know? Like, it's like I'm ashamed of myself for clicking on this.
Right.
But it's like
That's
person,
human nature.
yeah, it's like a hairdresser said it in the documentary, but they wouldn't name the actor. And I'm like, this is clickbait, but a documentary of clickbait.
Glee clickbait,
Yep.
the documentary. Yeah. Anyway.
If you want more Glee content, listen to any of the lovely podcasts we've had.
Yeah.
Glee
Seriously.
Aggressive, Gleek of the Week,
Gleek of the Week has to be going forever.
Gleek Please. So
Yeah.
many Glee on the Rocks. So many great pods.
So, there's plenty of Glee. And also you could just rewatch Glee if you really wanted to. The Glee, the 3D movie, tons of YouTube videos of like interviews of watch that stuff.
Yeah.
You could read some Glee fan fiction that always has interesting content.
Yep. Yeah,
And
just
Glee-
watch out for the Puck and Jake stuff though.
Yeah,
Be very
just be careful for that. But Glee, I think what's a testament to the longevity of a show is how, if the fanfic community, like if there's still fan fiction, and there still is new Glee fan fiction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is a sign of richness in the story and the characters.
That it
even if
meant
we don't
something to people.
And that it meant something to people,
Mhm.
yeah. Exactly.
Wow. I feel like we're talking because I feel like this went faster than we expected it to.
Yes.
And we're used
And
to
it's
being
only
here for 3
9:30 for me.
hours.
Yeah, but I am excited to end the episode so I can go eat my Chinese food. But yeah.
See you next time for the Gleekies. We're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna
Yes.
go out with a big triumphant flourish.
Yes.
Woo!
All right, we'll talk to you guys next time, listeners.
Bye.
Bye.
Gleeboot.